As you stand on the corner looking down onto the high street, you get a view of the modern and the past. Whilst the buses and cars go about their business, the cottages to your right and bottom left take you back 300 years or more. Once again, these were homes to local labourers and farmers. There was also a couple of local shops at the lower end of the road, and the last older house on the right was the local bakery. On screen now is a picture of its special crooked chimney, still working today. Folklore would have you believe that they were made crooked to stop witches flying down them, but it was more likely designed to stop the rain going in. The large white building in front of you is Kemp's. The western wing was built in 1540, making it the city's oldest inhabited residential building. It was constructed at a time when Henry VIII was the king and England was at war with France and Spain. Life expectancy for the lower classes was just 35. 16th century Portslade would have consisted of the manor, Kemp's, the church, and around 20 dwellings for farm workers and servants to the manor. These homes were made from tree branches which were then covered in plaster with a thatch roof on top. Typically, 8 people would share the one large room, which was lit and heated by a permanent open fire. Farm workers were now better treated than their medieval counterparts. Whilst they still worked for the lord of the manor, each would have around 4 acres of their own land to farm for crops and livestock. That's about the size of 2 football pitches. Kemp's was further extended over the years and became home for many influential people, including mayors of Brighton, MPs, and even the personal doctor to Queen Victoria whenever she visited the south coast. As you follow the road up, you will come to the site of the old riding stables. This sits next to a former Roman road that connected Portslade with London. Some historians contend that Portslade was the major port for the Romans in the 1st century. This is also how Portslade got its name. Port meaning harbour or port, and Slade, which means shallow valley in Saxon English. Horses have been vital in English history, being used in farming and transport. Stagecoaches began in 1610 and was the only way to travel quickly between towns and villages. A journey from Portslade to London would take around 10 hours. During the late 1700s, the design of coaches improved, as did the condition of the roads. Stagecoaches could now travel an average of 12 miles per hour, reducing the London commute to just 5 hours. Horses lost their importance for transport in the 1830s as the railway network began. Portslade Station opened in 1840, and overnight there was a far quicker and more comfortable way to get to the capital. But the stables remained until the 1980s, providing riding lessons and stabling. Once its business closed, the stables and land were converted into private housing.